The official death count in Puerto Rico after Hurricane Maria hit last year has remained just above 60 individuals. However, a new Harvard study is showing that that's not actually the case. Death caused by Hurricane Maria is a lot higher than official reports are telling us. In fact, it's specifically 70 times higher. And that's one of the more conservative estimates that have come out of this particular study. So according to Haley Miller of HuffPost, the study published in the New England Journal of Medicine found Hurricane Maria left at least 4,645 people dead in Puerto Rico after the storm made landfall on the island on September 20th, 2017. This figure stands in stark contrast with the Puerto Rican government's official tally of 64. The Harvard researchers conducted a survey of 3,299 randomly chosen households across Puerto Rico, in which participants were asked about displacement, infrastructure loss, and causes of death. Interruption of medical care was the primary cause of the increase in mortality rates in the months after the hurricane, according to the study. Researchers said their 4,645 estimate is likely to be conservative, and the death toll may actually exceed 5,000. Trump repeatedly downplayed Hurricane Maria's disastrous toll on Puerto Rico in the months following the storm. During an October visit to the island, Trump said Hurricane Maria wasn't a real catastrophe like Hurricane Katrina, which left over 1,800 people dead. At the time, Puerto Rico's official death toll for Hurricane Maria was 16. 16 versus literally thousands of people, Trump said at the time. You can be very proud. Everybody around this table and everybody watching can really be very proud of what's been taking place in Puerto Rico. So, needless to say, obviously, that's a gigantic difference. Thousands of people died. And the response from the United States government essentially has been to downplay it. That's what Donald Trump has done. And I actually want to go back to the quote referenced in this article where he talked about how, there's no way that this hurricane is on par with Hurricane Katrina because that was a real catastrophe. Because his comments there really go to show you just how little he cared about the people who reside in Puerto Rico. So take a look.
Mulvaney is here, right there, and Mick is in charge of a thing called budget. Now, I hate to tell you, Puerto Rico, but you've thrown our budget a little out of whack because we've spent a lot of money on Puerto Rico, and that's fine. We've saved a lot of lives. If you look at every death is a horror, but if you look at a real catastrophe like Katrina, and you look at the tremendous hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people that died, and you look at what happened here with really a storm that was just totally overpowering. Nobody's ever seen anything like this. What is your death count as of this moment? 17? 16 people certified. 16 people versus in the thousands. You can be very proud of all of your people, all of our people working together. 16 versus literally thousands of people.
So, this is a huge scandal for Donald Trump. I said before that this was his Katrina, and now this is its own new category, because if this study is accurate, which I believe it is, then the death and destruction caused by Hurricane Maria exceeded that which was caused by Hurricane Katrina. And anyone who's objective realizes that Donald Trump completely bungled this response. Not only did he bungle the response, but he tried to downplay it after it had already happened. This should be one of the biggest scandals in his administration. And upon learning this, since, as human beings, even if he underestimated the death toll of Hurricane Maria, now, what would be the right action? To right the wrong? Well, he could take immediate action and do what he can to provide Puerto Rico with assistance and aid. But what has he said about this? At the time I'm recording this video, he hasn't said anything about this. This is the President of the United States. Thousands of people died, and he really, for the most part, has shrugged. The new study comes out showing that thousands of people died as a result of Hurricane Maria, and this isn't a big deal, apparently. Now, according to Donald Trump, the reason why we weren't supposed to be as concerned with Hurricane Maria is because at the time when he made those comments, the death toll was just at 16. But now that the death toll is in the thousands, potentially more than 5,000, why isn't he treating this with the concern that's required? It's absolutely really upsetting to see that people in Puerto Rico are completely being left behind by their government. I mean, I don't know what to say about this. I think people certainly need to know, but there needs to be an urgency still till this day when dealing with Puerto Rico. But we have not seen that. We've seen nothing but incompetence from this administration, and it's despicable. I don't know what else to say. This is incredibly upsetting. You know, this should be something that Donald Trump can take and learn from, but of course, he's just choosing to ignore it altogether.
Support this podcast by becoming a patron at patreon.com/Humanist Report.